Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. The topic, I know it's going to be of interest to a lot of you out there. If you're using the LinkedIn platform, the professional platform, we need to talk about what to post and what not to post on this platform, because I think so many of us, me included, I've stopped doing what I'm going to preach to you not to do. But nevertheless, we need to stop being so corporate-y. And I'm using air quotes for those of you who can't see me. But, we want to use LinkedIn for those in our network, those people that we're trying to recruit into our network to get to know, like, and trust us. And we don't do that by posting content that makes us look like a corporate robot. That's not going to help you. I promise you, it will not. We want to get to know people as people. I've said it a million times. I'll continue to say it, but people buy from people. They don't buy from companies. All right. So we need to get our personality out there into our messaging, and we're going to talk about how to do that. First of all, let me tee this up by just saying I got a direct message from a dear friend of mine who she is an accountant, but she works on the recruiting side of accounting for a large firm. And she was like, I don't know what to post, on LinkedIn so people can get to know me as a person. And here's how I answered her question. And here's what I think would be so awesome for you to take away as well, too. And to start thinking about how you can leverage this piece of advice into your own content. I told her this. I was like, all right, I want you to be thinking about who is your perfect client. Who are you trying to recruit into your world? We're all out here networking, right? And so in order to attract the right people into our LinkedIn world, into our digital world, who is the person that we're trying to attract? It's not everybody, okay? So I want you to think about who is the person that you're trying to attract and what is the content that you need to be putting out there that would get, for them, be able to get to know, like, and trust you, get to know you on a more personal level, and sharing thoughtful, insightful content about your business as well, too. Okay. So what that could look like is this, and this is what I told my friend. I want you to think about 3 to 5 content areas. What are those topics? What are those areas of focus that you can talk about on the regular? For her, recruiting. Okay, she needs to be talking about recruiting, what candidates can do to prep themselves, for those interviews, to prep themselves for, getting the next level, job, in the firm or whatever. But be thinking about, again, those people in my circle, what do they need to hear from me in order, to make better decisions about their employment or to level up their career or whatnot. So for her, it was recruiting. It could be accounting, tax and audit as a part of accounting. Also, it could be her personal life too. What are the stories that have shaped her to be the professional that she is, and sharing those stories with the people in her audience and her network? If she's in recruiting, I can guarantee you that people who are looking to join her firm are going to want to know what are those stories that have impacted her personal life as a part of the firm. Be sharing that. Okay, so when it comes to that personal content that you share in a professional space, again, you need to be looking at it from the lens of the person who's going to be consuming your content. That's all. That's all you've got to do. All right. So whomever that person is, and this is where I tell my clients, you've got to really dig in and figure out who that person is. What is it that they need to hear from you? What are their pain points? What are they struggling with? What's their personality type? This is where I'm going to throw in a little bit of DISC here. I'm going to do it. But, I use the DISC profile, an assessment tool to help my clients better understand their communication style, and in contrast, be able to understand their perfect client's communication style. So you've got to be able to present this information, whether it be personal or professional, in a way that's going to really land with the person who's going to be consuming it. Okay. So, but to go back to the question of what content do I put out there about my personal life on a professional platform, you have to be looking at it from the lens of the person who's consuming it and what is going to be helpful for them. If it's not helpful for them, you shouldn't be putting it out there. All right. So I hope this kind of clarifies things a little bit. And let's talk about LinkedIn just a little bit more as well. A couple of weeks ago, I was at lunch with a new dear friend. And she is a C-suite level person at an executive recruiting company. And she's very passionate about certain topics within executive recruiting. I mean, she was just lit up. I mean, her face changed, her dynamic changed, the energy around her changed when she was talking about these particular topics. And as I was listening to her talk, and I was like, oh my God, she's getting me excited, thinking about these things. I pulled her up on LinkedIn because I was going to connect with her right then and there. And when I pulled up her profile, I noticed that there was no recent content that she has shared or has put out original content that she has shared about these particular topics. And I told her, I was just like, okay, sis, here's the thing. First of all, we need to have a professional bio. We need to have a professional headshot on LinkedIn. And I need for you to be sharing if the topics that you're telling me are lighting you up so much, let me tell you, your audience needs to hear about it too. And I cannot tell when I go to your LinkedIn profile that this is of any importance to you whatsoever. So if it's important to you, you need to be sharing it. And again, from the lens of the person who's going to be consuming it, who are you trying to invite into your world? What do they need to hear from you that would help them make their lives better, want to learn more about you? That's what we're trying to do. So I don't care if you're a corporate executive person at an accounting firm, a law firm, or you're a business owner who's just bootstrapping this stuff, trying to make things happen like I am. But people need to hear the content that's going to be helpful for them, because when you're putting out helpful content, that person comes back to you and they know that you're going to be the authority figure on that particular topic and that particular space, right? So I want you to be thinking about the content that you put out in that frame. All right. So I hope this has been helpful. This has been a short, quick little episode, but it has been jam-packed full of some really good tidbits that you can take away and implement right now. And as always, if this is something where you're like, I'm on the struggle bus, Heather, I don't know what content to put out into the world. I don't even know really the type of person that I'm trying to attract into my world. We need to talk. First, you need to take the DISC assessment. Then we need to hop on the phone. And yeah, you're going to spend a couple bucks doing this. Okay. But I'm telling you, it will completely shift the trajectory of the people that you're bringing into your network and the sales that you're making. Or if you're my friend and you're in recruiting, you're going to exponentially increase the number of people who are interested in what you have to offer when you know what information to put out there into the world and how to present it in such a way to where the person on the other end is receiving it. They're not just consuming it, but they are like receiving it. Okay. It makes all the difference in the world, puts money in the bank. Promise you. It has done that for me this past year. All right. So connect with me on my website, heatherlisle.com. Shoot me a DM on Instagram at Heather_Lisle, Lisle. Find me on LinkedIn at Heather Lisle Co. And let's talk. Let's just make this work. Okay. We're already in the fourth quarter. We want quarter one to be super, super strong as well, too, especially as we're heading into a recession. Make yourself stand out. That's what we're here to do. So I hope you take away some of these tidbits about LinkedIn and what you can do to increase your exposure there into your network. And I will see you next week.